Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the traffic terminator herself, Sandy Reevy.
Urgh.
It is episode 155 and July 12th. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we have a light week, Monday, July 12th, Mercury trine Jupiter.
Water, baby.
And Sandy's favorite day, Tuesday, July 13th, Venus conjunct Mars.
Fun, and more fun.
Thursday, July 15th, Sun trine Neptune.
New territory.
And Saturday, July 17th, Sun opposing Pluto.
More new territory.
Then in Talisman time, Sandy has finished up a special talisman to emote the passion in my writing. Then let's skip ahead on the horizon. We have our July 31st August astrology forecast, as well as our fall equinox constellation bracelet and workshop. Then in our house, Sandy and I are going to talk about our recent trips out of town. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intention.
And the search ends here, where the night is totally clear, and your heart is fierce. And so you finally know you control where you go.
Hello, traffic terminator.
It is true. I wish I had an airplane because, man, it was tough. I drove home from my mom's house yesterday, and normally it's a quick 5-hour trip. It's like a no-brainer. I've driven it, I don't know, since I had my driver's license, I feel. But so many stops. I mean, literally at one point I got out, I was on the expressway, got out of the car like everybody else did on the expressway because we were stopped for a good hour. And I
Wow.
went back and got my coloring book and crayons and got back in the
No,
car and colored.
did you?
Yeah, everybody turned their cars off. I mean, I
Oh
didn't
my
make any.
goodness.
Yeah. So it was, and then just bumper to bumper. Like, I don't know. I guess it was a Friday. I don't know. All of a sudden, just the whole day. And I stopped to go to the bathroom somewhere. That place was closed. I'm like, oh, like it was just like, yeah, Terminator. Like I
You
couldn't
had
wait to
those
get
red
to my,
eyes like Terminator.
right. I just couldn't wait to get to my end result and be done with the day. So
Right.
all safe
Well,
though, all safe and sound.
yes, yes. And I want to go direct to all of our listeners saying thank you so much for listening. I received a chat on our website from Nancy T. She just gave us a bunch of hearts, which I thought was so sweet. I'm normally the one receiving all of the website chats. So I said, hey, thanks so much for the love. Can I help with anything? And she says, just wanted to let you know I love my bracelets that I bought from you from the convention. I will have to get more talismans soon, but I also love what you said. How am I adapting to the change that has been happening and what's coming up? A great question for me because the change just feels good. And I've noticed that I need some more connection to earth and being grounded. You are always teaching me, Sandy.
Oh,
So yeah,
well,
I
good.
love that. Usually it's like
It's
questions like what talisman is good for me, but I'm totally welcoming the nice messages coming from our Shopify chat too.
and thank you, Nancy, because those are important that, that you are learning. You're just a tidbit at a time, right? Just,
Yes.
just knowing, listening to one thing that hits you right where you need it, which is the talisman that I just finished. We'll talk about that in our talisman times.
Yes.
So, there is something about that was happening this past week. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Well, let's move into the transits. It's going to be a quick week with transits. We have 4 of them, but it also includes your favorite day. So we'll start off with today, Monday, July 12th, if you're listening to this podcast on time, Mercury trine Jupiter.
Yeah, this is we know that Mercury has just moved into the sign of Cancer, just the couple days before. So Mercury is out of retrograde. He's been direct for a while. He's moved out of his shadow last week. But yet this is the first time he's made an aspect in the sky. And he makes the aspect to who? A trine, easy, harmonious energy to Jupiter.
Right.
And so they're both in water. So that's why I was like, water, baby. This is good news. Mercury, Mercury is the recipient, or it could be the deliverer of some good news that has to do with, an emotional and inspiring your thoughts. So whether you're buying a new book, you're on a new program, we still have some slots left for um, our
Fall equinox?
the fall equinox. Yeah, I was trying to think what that was. Fall equinox constellation bracelet and workshop. Arrange a large family reunion. Um, there's the sense of this. Mercury has been so in his own sign for more than like 2+ months, moves into Cancer, boom, gets onto the emotional connection, the emotions, the feelings, the memories, revisiting old stories. That's why it's good to get with those older folks, the elderly peeps in your family. You know, we're all getting older. And it was very apparent when I went to visit my mom. Not that my mom's getting older. I mean, she is, but she's actually better than she was last time I was there.
Right.
But we went to visit my uncle, who is, 95 years old and a Kentucky historian, and bright whippersnapper, bright, 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 and just talked about things from the 17th century, the 18th century, the 19th century, and he has all this data. He's written encyclopedias. He's been awarded, the most knowledgeable Northern Kentucky historian in the country. So
Wow.
just to get to someone like that, doesn't have to, I don't live in Kentucky. He does, right? But just to get information from someone,
Right.
like lots of information. Some of it you can use, some of it, some you can't. But this is the first transit that Mercury's doing. So be emotional, inspiring with your thoughts or the subject matter that you want to learn.
Right. And then the next day is your favorite day, Tuesday, July 13th, Venus conjunct Mars. And
Yeah, they're
it's the
both
Venus and Mars connection that I'm picking up as your favorite day.
well, it is because it's at 19 degrees of Leo that sits right on my natal ascendant. I
Ooh.
have a 20-degree Leo ascendant. So at 19, these are happening. And, it's like go after what you desire for us Leo risings. And I know there's a lot of people. Interesting how me as a Leo rising draws other Leo rising people to me. We've got a
Mhm.
lot. So I know there's a bunch of Leo risings listening right now. Go after what you desire. Venus is here meeting up with Mars. Venus is the faster of these two planets. So Venus is coming up. She is delivering some information to Mars and it's telling, because neither one of them are in the sign that they rule, but Venus is saying, hey, Mars, this is what I want. I'm going to let you go get it, but here's what I desire. Be creative and have that supportive, you have the support of Mars to push through an obstacle. You're not shy today. This is Tuesday. You're not shy. You're getting your message across on what it is you want.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's the reason why it's my favorite. It's because it's hitting my ascendant very
And it's
strong.
fun, fun, and more. That's what you named it. That's great.
Fun,
That's
fun, and
okay. Yeah.
more something, more question mark, more what? More fun, more happy, more creative times, more pushing through, getting over some of those vulnerable spots, saying what it is you mean, especially in Venus type situations. This is love relationships. This is all relationships, actually. It's about things that you aesthetics. Is this a
Mhm.
good day to get your hair cut? To color your hair? Something that says to be bold and dramatic in Leo, but to get past the obstacle.
Right.
Mars is
And for
helping
me,
you
for
here.
me, like what I could sum up that into just one word, it would be confidence.
Mm, good. Good day.
Confidence and having the fun too. So let's move on. Thursday, July 15th, Sun trine Neptune.
This is, new territory. This happens at, in the middle of the night, 3:49 a.m. And the what like new territory? What's this new step you're taking? The sun has not met up with this trine. We know the sun meets up in trines to the outer planets. That's Pluto, going backwards. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. Those planets, those are the generational and the outer planets, meet up with the sun in a trine when they are just going retrograde or they just are going direct. And
Mm,
so when the sun was in this position the last time, uh, Neptune was not at the 23 degrees of Pisces. So find safety, find protection at these new degrees. This is your next step. See your next step. That's what I wanted to, new territory. It's like you've gone through whatever, the forest, or let's talk about water here because they're in water. Sun is in Cancer. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, modern ruler, and that's where Neptune is right now. So let's use the water scenario of, you've taken the boat out of the crag, if you will, right, out of the little inlet,
mhm,
and you're now taking it out beyond the barrier walls, and you're out there trying to see, find your safety and your protection because you're going into new territory. Do you have what you need? Now you're not going out far because you're going to just go out a little bit and come back around. So you're not departing to completely leave that inlet or that crag, that little area that you've been in. But take your time here. This is Neptune. Show others what you are about. Show others that have this confidence in this new territory. You do have what it takes. And sometimes that you don't need material goods, right? You just need, particularly from earlier that week, from my favorite day, the confidence to forge ahead.
yes.
Because it's Neptune. We may want to have some spiritual practices here. We may want to escape a reality where we may want to kind of drift away. Maybe you've put a anchor on the boat and you are just going to drift because you need to take a nap or you need to rest because Neptune will want you to kind of recharge. Right. So, um,
And it's a really wonderful time to allow yourself that recharge
mhm.
time and space, or even, like, put it in your calendar so that you know that you're not gonna skip on it, because that can tend to be one of the first things that gets marked off the list as, like, "Oh, not necessary. Not today."
Yeah, rest. So it's like find safety and protection in these new degrees. Like you're venturing out, and to know that you don't need to have all the power, that you can enjoy it and take your time, and you'll return back to shore when you're ready. So if you want to drift out there for a little bit, to enjoy new area, new discovery, new place, you're seeing some new things, and find like I said, find a meditative place out there of maybe gratitude, of like, my gosh, this is so beautiful. It's interesting that I'll be on my way heading to Booth Bay Harbor, Maine for a week to visit Andrew, your brother, my son.
Yeah, yeah.
And that will be where I'll be going into the water. I'm staying right on the water. Well, I mean, it's all water there,
You're right.
very little land. That I'm going out there to do resurgence, to rest, and to read and to explore my ancient astrology books and all classes that I am taking. So, yeah,
Perfect.
who wants to join me?
So let's move on to Saturday, our final day, Saturday, July 17th, Sun opposing Pluto. So we just had the Sun trine Neptune, kind of getting help from Neptune, but now we have Sun having a staring contest with Pluto. Tell us about this.
Well, Pluto's the big transformer, right? He's the alchemist, and the sun will sun will oppose every single planet uh, once a year, unless it's something's going retrograde, and the sun will maybe hit it one or more than once. But Sun doesn't go retrograde. So this is also new territory. So see what's needing permanent change. You don't meet up with Pluto just for a hello and goodbye. You meet up with Pluto to say, oh, this needs to change. Well, I'll have to eliminate this. I'll have to transform this. Give me time. I need to acid drip this so that this goes away and changes into something else. This is at 25 degrees of Capricorn. So again, Pluto was not at 25 degrees Capricorn when the sun was at 25 degrees Capricorn last year. So again, this is new territory. So anyone's birthday that is November 18th, this is, I know where their sun then is, they have a 25 degree Capricorn sun. And then this combination, the sun they're having a birthday.
Right.
Well, it's not the exact birthday, but that's where the sun is. That's what Neptune is here. So critical time to look at what is needing change in your life. And it just interesting here. I did some little research, and this last time it was in 2020 when Pluto was at 23 degrees of Capricorn, and that was November 16th birthday. So I ask you, anybody that has November 15, 16, 17, I ask you what has been destroyed or what has vanished in your life from about 1 year ago. It would be those 23 Capricorn babies, or any planets that you have at 23 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto has been sitting on that, and now is something has been destroyed or built up for higher power. Some things we think is like, no, this is good. Like plain water, tap water is good, right? Like it's really interesting because my mom drinks tap water. And then when I get home to my, to my friend who has put in a Kagan water system in my house, who is now drinking 9.5 pH water. Like there's a difference.
Yeah.
But you think water is water. But when you get into the transforming of water, of separating the acidic water from the alkaline water, way different.
Even within the taste too.
Right. So, and it does things, disease cannot live in alkaline water. It lives in acidic water. So just really interesting. Like you could have a glass of water, but what kind of glass of water? That's the difference here of the Pluto. It's like, you know what? I don't want to just have any water. I want to have, empowering water. Just a quick thought that I had. We could use that as, what has been destroyed. Like you don't want to drink tap water anymore. That might be one of the things that is
one
vanished,
of them.
Yeah.
So let's move into Talisman times. We have, again, another light week, and you have finished up one Talisman Wednesday, July 7th, and this is to emote the passion in my writing.
I tell all. My life experiences are mine to tell. This belongs to me, and now I share this with you. May some point hit you perfectly where you need it. And that's kind of what we were saying with Nancy writing in at the top of the podcast is, that hit me right where I needed it. And, that's part of what you're either writing in a story or listening to somebody's written words. This is to emote the passion in writing. And again, this is that Mercury moon was making that aspect to a conjunction with Mercury at the top of the chart in the 10th house. So it is about a career or reputation or fame of something, being a writer. And it's the Virgo was coming up over the horizon, which meant Mercury was the ruler or the helmsman of the chart. So this was a really powerful place. And I made one large bead bracelet.
And there are no upcoming Talisman times this week. However, we're going to get back to you soon, or check out our Intention Beads Instagram account for some of the newer talismans that Sandy has been making. You get to see the pictures of them. You get to see them in video form being crossed over this beautiful fumigation of incense. And I love those because it gives this like so esoterical, aspect to the beads.
And it's like they were just born and they're going through this cleansing, if you will, the summification of the essence of the plants and incense that
Correspond. Mhm.
particular planet corresponds to. So it's and then it's baked in because I run it through summification while it's still raw and then put it in the oven where it bakes in. It's funny because I remember someone at the activation, if I can just throw this in kind of sideways. A woman bought a talisman, her first talisman, and she got it in the mail and she was opening it up and her dog kept like sniffing at it, sniffing at it, sniffing at it.
Mhm.
And she's like, why are you sniffing at this package? I get packages all the time. Why this package? And when we did the activation, I told her that, what the essence was that I was summificating it to. And she said, oh my gosh, that's why my dog was,
On
after
fire with
this,
it.
after the box, after the package, after the bracelet, because he could smell the incense
That's
that it
funny
had.
because it also talks about how, you know, well, the dog's nose is so intense and can depict so many different senses. The human nose can't, but
Mhm.
it's there,
Yeah, it's
right?
there.
So it's like, how
Yeah.
much are we missing? There's so much we're missing, with like visions and sense and sensation. So,
It's a
yeah.
dog's life.
Yes. So, also, our talisman of the month is to enjoy all the lovely gifts I own. This is a talisman that is on sale, $33 off. Plus, you get a free shipping credit. So, don't delay. Check out that link.
And
And
and we do an activation call, right? For it.
yes,
So all
yeah,
all talisman, all purchases get an activation call, 15 minutes with me, and I take you through your first ritual.
yes. So, let's move into on the horizon. We just a couple weeks ago, we just finished up the July astrology forecast that has all of the dates that we discussed here on the podcast, as well as you and Susan's mentions of, favorite days, constructive days, those challenging days, as well as our astrology cheat sheet download is available. And mark your calendars because July 31st, we have our August astrology forecast happening on Facebook Live. Again, it's the same thing. We're just going into those August dates. Then September 7th through October 20th, this is going to be our fall equinox constellation bracelet and workshop. This is a very in-depth, amazing deep dive into astrology and creating your personal talisman, where every single bead that is in your bracelet has a connection with a specific transit. So by the end of our, you know, month and a half together, almost 2 months, this is a talisman that you get to hold with, taking with you all of those experiences that you had with us, with the cosmos, what was going on in your life. And it really acts as this beautiful memento as well as a jumping point to your next destination. So check out that link, of course. And again, let's jump into the next segment on our house.
Yes, let's do. Jump, jump.
So we just recently took some trips out of town, and actually I am still on my trip. I will be traveling as soon as I can after this podcast back home, and I'll talk about my trip.
Okay.
I flew to Nashville, Tennessee to spend just under a week with my best friend Ashley, where we expanded our business ideas and creative ways of sharing on social media. And I shared with her some of my tactics. She shared with me some of her expertise. And if anyone wants to see some of her work, she is Ash Branding Co. on Instagram. It's really inspiring. She teaches you how to do so many different things on social media that I need help with. And I'm inspired. I'm leaving here very excited, ready to go. I even got a new computer because Mercury is direct and out of the shadow, and
Yeah.
I'm ready to get going on these big visions that I have.
Right. Because you're in a 10th house perfected year with Mercury sitting in it.
Hmm.
Right. So it is about how you're going to get content out into the world around your career, your reputation. So really cool work that you're doing, Al. Really cool. And I've loved the work that I've seen so far. Some of the videos of the bracelets with the golden light.
It's wonderful. I'm really
Yeah.
excited to share them. So make sure to also follow us on Instagram. It's all one word, intention beads. You'll be seeing more of our beautiful photo shoots that we just took. So I want to hear about your trip. Tell me.
My trip was a drive to Cincinnati for just under a week because I was headed to Nashville. We'll talk a
You
little bit
were.
about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I was to go down to Nashville, work with you and Ashley, and you forgot to talk about Crystal.
Oh, and I got to meet Crystal in person, her and her daughter for the first time, which was so delightful. It's so funny at the same time because it really showed me that even through Zoom, through this like digital life that we've all been living, it you really do make a connection. There is this ability to be. I was with her every single day, Monday through Friday, once or twice a day on Zoom. I got to, see her daughter every day, who's only 6 months old. And then just to like hear the doorbell ring and me open it up and there she is, like, in the
Oh,
flesh. It was just like, what? And it just felt like we had known each other for so long, but really this was the first time that we were meeting person to person.
yeah, it can almost bring tears to my eyes just to think that, and by the way, Crystal is your assistant
Yes.
that you hired in January and now are just meeting for the first time 6 months later. And so I was going to head down after
Hmm.
being in Cincinnati. I was going to drive down, work with Ashley, do some videos, do some content, meet Crystal and her baby, and then you and I drive back. And I'll talk about my my brother lived. I saw my other brother came into town with his family. That was fun. We went down to my brother's lake. He owns a lake. So it was, although I'm like, oh, I didn't even think to bring my bathing suit because everybody was in the lake splashing around, whether they were on the kayaks or, on those big tubes of, or 6 people laying on one big thing. And some people are on the, which at the zoo, you get on those boats where you pedal, like
Oh,
the bike
oh, what are those called?
things. They had some of those out there and I'm like, man, I forgot to bring
Paddle
my,
boats. Sorry.
they're,
Paddle boat.
they're pedal boats.
Oh, pedal boat. Is that what they're called? I've
I don't
always
know,
called
but they
them a
should
paddle
be.
boat.
They should be. A paddle, it sounds like a paddle boat, like you've got something in your
Okay.
hand.
Well, we'll see.
Pedal is you're using your feet like a bike. Anyway, I realized that, oh my God, what do I think I can do? Get in dirty water with my eye? No way. So I was glad I didn't bring my bathing suit because I would have been tempted. But,
Right.
it was it was July 4th weekend. My mom and I went down to the lake 2 days in a row. Most people spent the night there. We did not. Um, I did bring
Let
my
me interject
Talis.
real fast right here because I just Googled um, paddle boat and it's the suggestion is it a paddle boat or a pedal boat? And it's the answer is these boats are often called paddle boats, but technically they are pedal boats or pedalos. So
Pedalos.
you're right. You win.
Well, no,
I have the majority though.
I made it up because I thought, why would it be called a paddle boat? It should be called a pedal boat.
There we
Never
go.
heard of it. Yeah. So, um, anyway, great trip with my mom. The last time I went to my mom's for 6 weeks when she was not, she was just coming out of the hospital from a back injury. And that was just a whole other thing. This time is we're sitting in her back garden. We're taking the trips through the woods with her golf cart. We went to see my uncle who gave me a funny story, and I'll have to share that with you another time. He's a painter and a historian. So he gave me a painting, and I ended up with 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
Another story. Yeah. But it was a great time. But halfway through the trip, you called me and said, Mom, yeah, you're heading to another pool tournament.
I don't know what's been going on with my, my hobby. Now it might be turning in more into a career of some sort. Um, so I got a call from my team, and we came in second place for our for the season. And
So let's stop here. This is your regular team, not the all women team. So this is 2, you're on 2 teams now.
Completely 2 different teams, right? So
And this team that you're talking about, you're the only girl on, and it's your every Monday night team.
Right.
Yeah. You've been on this for a while.
Right. Well, for the last couple of years. Prior to that, I was on some other teams, but I just took some time off. It was a busy time for me, and so now we are heading to what's called the Challenge of Champions, and we compete there. If we win, we go to Vegas. So I would be going to Vegas for two different teams. One is the Ladies World Championship, which I am going to. And we told you that story last week. So check that one out if you didn't hear it. And then this one is all about just me and my guys team, me being the Tom girl.
So great. Congratulations. And so because that starts tomorrow, we had to change our plans. And still lots of plans are flowing. They're movable. They're adapting. It really is how you can't get mad, can't get angry. I mean, you can, but why? Things
just
are
going with the flow, right?
Constantly moving. So, and take your home wherever you are, right?
Yes.
You're taking your soul and your spirit wherever you go. And that's really all you need.
Yeah.
To feel home.
And
all right.
Yeah. And so also I did want to quick mention, we did start the 7-day challenge today. It was beautiful. So excited that everyone is coming in and really setting their intentions together. It is exciting and inspiring to, I think, the both of us, of course.
Right. It is.
And everyone involved. So,
yeah. And it holds us accountable as well. So this is something where, it's our 3rd time we've done it this year, and it's a free event. It's important that spiritual leaders give free events, open up to everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think that's all for our episode today. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. We love you. We love those 5-star reviews. Don't forget to email me, alex@intentionbeads.com. If you have any questions, I can help send links, answer questions, and of course, show you how to give us those 5-star reviews. So until next week, we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
And the search ends here, where the night